Okay, it is time for health check right now, and what a better conversation to have than to discuss the season that we're in right now. That is the cold season, and I bet that if you are in Nairobi, you have experienced the cold, especially yesterday and today, and I'm sure across different parts of the country, the cold has really been a lot. So we are going to be looking at ways in which we can ensure that we are having the proper nutrition specifically around this time. So the topic of conversation is nutrition care during the cold season in order for us to avoid flu and the cold as well. And what better way to have this conversation than to have a doctor on set. We have a clinical nutritionist from Placid Nutrition Center. His name is Dr. Japheth Winstone, RDN. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Vivian.
It's a pleasure to have you here this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here on this cold.
It's quite chilly.
July.
Huh?
Really
it's
chilly.
Very, very chilly. So this conversation is actually really, really timely.
Yeah.
So let me begin by just asking, you know, what is the correlation, or how does the cold weather affect our immune system?
Yeah, I think the cold weather makes immune system go weak for sometimes. Number one, let me use a simple analogy for our small children in kindergarten, in nursery schools. There's that period of time where the whole class is coughing. Yeah. Or your little boy, your little girl went to class and suddenly came back with the flu. So the cold season makes the viruses which cause flu and this kind of respiratory diseases last longer in the air. And also they make them more virus stronger, so that there are more virus-related infections at that time. And also, you'll notice that during the cold season, we stay indoors more. And we also don't open windows, so there's not so much circulation. People are like, it's really cold, please, please, shut those windows. So that makes those infections more during the cold season. And also, the immunity may go a bit lower at that time. Yeah.
So does what we eat play a role in us avoiding some of these common illnesses during the cold season, like the flus and someone catching a cold and all of that? Does nutrition play a role?
Yes, nutrition plays a role in the immunity. Remember, you are what you eat. Your immunity comes from your nutritional status. That is why we have something called malnutrition. When somebody is malnourished, then their immune levels goes down. So it's a vicious cycle. We call it the vicious cycle of malnutrition. So when you're malnourished, your immune goes low, you become sick, you're sick again, makes your immunity worse. So what you eat makes your immunity good or terrible. So many of the times you find most of our diets are predominantly fast foods, highly processed foods, high in sugars, high in fats. That really affects the immune status, because we know the types of foods that build our immunity are the probiotics, the multivitamins, the fruits and the veggies, which most of the time you find is highly lacking in our modern day diets. Yes. So what you eat, yes, will affect your immunity.
It does affect our immunity, and in the end also affects whether you will be you will catch an illness or an allergy, maybe in relation to, you know, your body and how it relates with the cold. So you mentioned the proper diet to consider, mainly around this time. You've talked about the vegetables, fruits. So what else should I consider as someone who's looking towards preventing me catching a cold or a flu?
Okay, apart from the heavy sweaters, the heavy jackets, and the heavy duvets, for some of us who come from Kinagov or Karaga and those kind of things, it's also important to consider the nutrients that you take. There are I'll give 5 or 4 key nutrients that are very important for your immunity. Of course, everybody knows vitamin C. It's good for immunity at this time. So you'll find families stocking up vitamin C gummies, families stocking up vitamin C effervescence. So vitamin C is an important nutrient that helps in the immunity, especially around this cold period. And vitamin C is related to the mucosal lining. Mucosal lining is the mucus lining around the breathing tract, the airway system. And remember, the mucosal lining is the first barrier of defense, especially for these flus and these things, because the mucus lining will trap germs, will trap pollutants, will trap all those kind of things. So vitamin C helps you to build that mucosal lining. We also have vitamin A. Maybe I also mentioned where vitamin C is found. Vitamin C is found in citrus fruits. Citrus fruits, mostly lemons, oranges, tangerines. Right now, pixies are in the season.
Yes,
so please grab those pixies. Don't joke with them. Just stock up on them. They are in the season right now.
Yeah.
So citrus fruits. Managu. I hear people say, what? Those managus can help your immunity. You tell some people take managu, they're like, but who? Yeah, you need those managus. They are rich in vitamin C. They'll help you.
Yeah.
We also have vitamin A. Vitamin A is also an important micronutrient which will help you with your immunity. It also builds the immune system to respond to the flu and this kind of symptoms that are around the corner.
Yeah. So foods rich in vitamin A?
Foods rich in vitamin A are things like, you know, it's funny how sometimes many of us will run to buy supplements.
Yes.
And they go to the store like, get me, you know, those kind of things. But some of these foods are found in the most available foods on your shelf, in the kitchen, in your local market. Something like a carrot will give you vitamin A. Something like pawpaw will give you vitamin A. Mawaru, not waru. How do you call sweet potatoes in your language?
Ngwashe.
Ngwashe, yeah. That, especially the orange-fleshed ngwashe. It's sweet, but it also has something called beta-carotenes. Beta-carotenes are the orange-yellow colorings in food. Beta-carotenes are an important source of vitamin A, which will help your immunity. Of course, your eyes as well. So everyone knows carrots will help you with your eyes because of the vitamin A that is found in the beta-carotene. Yeah, so those are the two. Number 2 was vitamin A. Number 3 mineral which will also help you with your immunity are the probiotics. Okay. Yeah, I know right now there's a lot of fuss and people are trying to get probiotics. Probiotics are the good bacteria that exist in your gut. Do you know that 70% of your immunity is in the gut, Vivian? Did you know that?
70%.
70% of your immunity is in the gut. Yeah. So you need to take care of your gut health by stocking up or using probiotics. Probiotics, for layman language, are the healthy bacteria which are found in your system. There's bacteria all over, on the surfaces, on our foods, on our surrounding. But the body has a stockpile of its own defense bacteria. Good bacteria. Good bacteria. So these are what we are calling the probiotics. So these probiotics you can find, again, I want to use very simple foods that people can relate with, you know. Things like mursik. Chamge, my friend from the other side of the world. Chamge muno. Chamge muno. So things like mursik will give you a daily dose of bacteria, of good probiotic bacteria. Things like, hey, go to Ronald Ngala Street, Pale RMG. There are guys who take something called Uji Power there. Fermented porridge. It's very good. Guys, I know there are people watching us along Ronald Ngala having their dose of Uji Power. That fermented porridge gives you probiotics which will boost your immunity. And of course, for those who can afford their yogurts off their shelves, they're those the ones that are processed and enriched with more probiotics. So those are good dose for your care. And finally, vitamin D. Vitamin D has also been proven to help with this flu and respiratory syndromes. During the COVID era, I think vitamin D supplementation was noticed to be one of the main factors that helped most of the patients that survived the COVID pandemic. So vitamin D is known to boost your immunity and fight respiratory illnesses. Yes.
Vitamin D rich foods?
Vitamin D rich food. And also remember, during this period, the sun is less. So may not be exposed to so much of vitamin D at this time. Especially those from the North Pole and those on the other side of the planet, they might not be having so much of vitamin D. So or maybe you're coming from Kenya, you're traveling to the west or the other side. It is important you get a dose of vitamin D. Some of the hospitals around can give you a dose of vitamin D to protect your immunity as you travel to these countries which have less daylight, to protect your immunity, especially for respiratory syndromes.
And if you're looking to get it in your foods, what kind of foods should I, focus on to as my intake of vitamin D?
So for vitamin D, mostly what we do is you have those things that boost your vitamin D intake from the diet. So vitamin C will also help you to take vitamin C because vitamin D. Fortunately for us on this other side of the planet, it is readily available through exposure to the sun.
Yeah.
But there are foods like vitamin C, which will help you to synthesize more and take in the vitamin D from the natural sources.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So you've touched a bit on supplements.
Yes, yes.
And, you know, we know that there are people who stock up on supplements. You know, you have your vitamin A supplements, you have your vitamin D supplements, you have your vitamin C supplements, you have different kinds of supplements.
You're almost like a pharmacy in your house.
Almost like a pharmacy, you know? And these are, you take them diligently.
Yeah.
But how important are these supplements, and do we really need them as much? Because, you know, from what you've just talked to us about, we can easily get these foods, you know, or get these vitamins from foods that are available to us, you know. So is it really important, or who exactly should go for the supplements? And do we need to be to get, you know, to have it written down by a doctor for you to get it, or I can just get it over the counter? Because I know most of us take it over the counter.
Well, you think you're now striking the nerve with most of us Kenyans who are almost opening a pharmacy or a drugstore in our houses, because everybody wants now vitamin word. However, supplements come from the English word supplement. It's like a supplementary budget, a supplementary thingy. Supplementary means it's to add on. It's not like you're relying on it. If I say I'm having a supplementary budget, it doesn't mean that's the budget I'm working on. It means I had a budget, but there's a deficit on my budget. So I need to do a supplementary budget. Similar thing with the micronutrient supplementation. It means you're just adding on to what is existing. So your food should be your primary source of all the micronutrients that you need. That is where balanced nutrition comes in, where you need to balance the portions and the food groups, the three main food groups: proteins, carbohydrates, and vitamins. If you balance all this, you'll be able to get all the micronutrients that you need. However, there are people who may need supplementation because of deficiencies. Deficiencies which can be diagnosed in a hospital through biochemical tests, which will tell you how your levels are of these micronutrients. There are also life stages, like an expectant mother may also have micronutrient deficiencies because of iron, for example, and folic acid. So during that period, the mothers may need supplementation of iron and folate to protect the mother and the baby as well. And maybe just to mention, now that I've talked about mothers, next week is World Breastfeeding Week.
Yes, it is.
So I want to remind all the mothers, our champions who are breastfeeding, that we are celebrating you next week for the World Breastfeeding Week. Keep breastfeeding the babies, because your mama do in a bamba.
I love that. And I want to stick a bit on the supplements, because I feel like it's a conversation that sometimes we don't get correct. So you've clearly mentioned that it's to supplement. So maybe you've gone to the hospital, get tested, and you are told you are deficient of maybe vitamin C. You need to add up more of that. You need to add up maybe your vitamin D or E and whatnot. So, and I know you agree with me that most of us really just take the supplements. I mean, we just go over the counter, take them, and start taking them in. So do they have an effect on our bodies? Because there's the conversation of you are slowly overworking your kidneys over time and might have kidney issues in the future. For those who constantly are taking the supplements. How true is that?
What you're saying is very true and very key, because supplements, in as much as in Kenya, our local setup, they're not as regulated as on the other side. Like for example, in the US, it's regulated by the Food and Drug Administration Authority or something, the FDA in the US. But locally in Kenya, we do not have so much legislations and regulations around that. But it's important for our viewers to know that supplements may put you at risk of toxicity. I can use a simple supplement like vitamin A, which our children are given when they're born, from I think six months of age. There's a reason why the kids are given that vitamin A supplementation at an interval of 6 months, because too much of anything, really, the white man said, is poisonous. So before you pile yourself with so much of vitamin, you also need to know that you can be putting yourself at risk of toxicity. So there is a daily limit for every micronutrient that we take. There's a daily limit for calcium, there's a daily limit for vitamin A, and we use what you're calling IU, international units. So every single supplement, there's a daily dose that you need to take. So if you're on supplements or you're taking supplements, you need to work with a nutritionist, a dietitian, or a medical professional to give you your daily prescription so that you don't go way and above the daily limit that is needed.
Yeah.
Even water, too much of water can cause you water toxicity. Did you know that? There's something called water toxicity when you're having too much water in your body. So anything when you take it in excess is dangerous. So moderation is the spice of life. So just be moderate and work with professionals. I know Dr. GPT is here. We have TikTok doctors. We have everything. But please, there's a reason why we have plumbers for plumbing. There's a reason we have carpenters for your carpentry work. So please, let's kazi iheshimiwe.
I love that you've clarified that. Yeah. So I'm sure most people have picked that up, and now they know they should not just be taking the vitamins for the sake of it, the supplements.
Yeah.
You know, during the cold season as well, most of us are big on concoctions because, I mean, they help in prevention. I don't know how true that is.
I hope my mom is not watching. I hope she's not watching because we used to drink those things, boy oh boy.
Yeah, so for prevention, and even when you have a cold already, you're told just have your concoction, have your ginger, garlic, what else, lemons, you know, mix them up and, you know, be taking that. How much does that help?
Okay.
Especially when it comes to prevention first.
Okay. I think that also reminds me of our water intake during the cold season. Many times during the cold season, we don't take as much water because of the cold season, really. And you're not feeling thirsty, so the thirst cues are not as much as in the hot seasons. And that puts you at risk of mild dehydration because you're not taking in as much water during the cold season. And you may notice this by having the urine color highly colored, maybe towards yellow and those kind of things, or having a fall smell. Why? Because you're not producing as much sweat at this time of the cold season. So you need to continue taking your water during this period of time, and that is where the lemons and the gingers will come in. So this is the time you can take herbal infused teas, you can take herbal water, you can take the lemon flavored water to also continue with your dehydration, to your rehydration, sorry. Back to your question, where does the lemons, the gingers and the turmeric and these kind of things come in? So I think there's a secret that our old mothers discovered that probably science had not advanced to them at that time. Big shout out to our mothers who made us drink those concoctions. So these foods contain things we are calling antioxidants. The turmeric, the ginger, the garlic, they contain antioxidants. Antioxidants are compounds which are found in these foods which work on something's called free radicals. I'm starting to sound like a doctor. I want to sound layman. So let's take free radicals as, I want to use a term that everyone understands. Free radicals are the goons on the streets.
Okay.
Antioxidants are now the riot police.
Okay.
So the antioxidants which are found in garlic and the ginger and the lemon are the riot police who are controlling the goons, which are the free radicals. The free radicals are what make you more susceptible to infection. So when the antioxidants which are found in this ginger and turmeric and lemon and garlic, they are present in your body, they protect you from these free radicals, reducing your chances of getting infections. So the ginger and the lemons are the good cops.
Okay.
And the radicals are the what? Say goons. They are the goons. So the antioxidants protect you from those free radicals in the body that will make you get infections at this time. So and as much as it tastes bitter, it does a good job in your body.
That is very well explained.
Yes,
so we should, during this time, this is when we should be taking much of our concoction.
Yes, this is the time you can take the concoction. And you see, there are people who fear the taste. You can add the honey, because honey is also a very good body defense product, because there are people who use bee propolis at this time. The honey will also not just add flavor to your dawa. Yeah, many of us will get it on the street as dawa, but it also adds some defense mechanism to your system as well. Yeah,
I got it. And I like that you've also spoken about the fact that, you know, during this time we also don't drink a lot of water, because we rarely get that thirsty around this time because of the cold. So you've insisted that it's important that we still keep hydrating, you know, and stay hydrated as well.
It's important to stay hydrated. Remember, I talked about the mucosal lining, the mucosal lining. You know, that is the body's first line of defense. So when you are dehydrated, even your mucous lining becomes drier, you know. I almost wanted to show, but I don't want to. When you put your finger in your nostrils, there's some moist nature inside there. That is the body's way of protecting you from pollens, protecting you from germs. It is trapped on that mucous lining. So when you're dehydrated at this time, it means even your mucous lining is dry. So it reduces your body's primary defense mechanism. Like the gates in your home, for those who have gates, it's your number one defense structure. So when you are dehydrated, it means that you will lose that primary defense mechanism, which is the mucous lining. So we need to keep dehydrated, take the herbal infused teas, take bone broth. When you're pendi maji, you can take bone broth, bone soup, vegetable soups. It's important that you still stay dehydrated at this time.
Hydrated, yeah.
Yes. Stay hydrated.
All right, got it. So hydration, we take our soups, we take our water, and of course the concoction as well, to ensure that we are still hydrated. Now, you touched a bit on mothers, as you mentioned that we are going to be getting into that breast feeding day or week, and I would like for you to touch a bit on the mothers or generally just parents, and what nutritional advice would you give them, specifically those with young children during this time? Is it the same as what you've been talking about, or for children it's different?
Yeah, I think for mothers, maybe let me just categorize them in terms of ages. 0 to 6 months of age, we encourage that the biggest immunity for your child is your breast milk. So you have to continue breastfeeding your child for 0 to 6 months exclusively. No water, no grape water, no nothing, no concoctions. 0 to 6 months, that is the biggest gift you can give to your child for your immunity, for their sharpness, acuity of the brain, those kind of things. After 6 months to 2 years of age, it's important to do adequate complementary feeding. Complementary feeding, this is now adding the different food groups in the child's diet. Complementary feeding is not giving your child these fast foods that people do. And oh my God, I hope my mom is also not watching. You know, when you're young, they will hold you like this, the whole village hold your hand this side, another one hold this other leg, and they'll put you in between here. Feeding time should not be fight time with your baby. The reason why most of the time feeding child is a fight with our kids is you're piling your child with food which is the same routine of food, the nduma and the ngwashe and cassava, and it's not just plain food. And I'll say that if you cannot eat your baby food, your child will not eat it. So make sure that food is as tasty as you would have wanted it to be. Doesn't mean you add spices. Just make sure that you can have taste of your food, and you'll be comfortably taking the food you're giving to your child. So if you're giving complementary food to your children, ensure it is tasty, it is appealing to the eye. Bro, some of us had uji breakfast, uji lunch, uji supper. I'm sure, no, maybe you look like a cool kid.
Do I?
But what I'm saying is feeding time should be an enjoyable time for our children. Make sure that it's food that is palatable, tasty to the tongue for you as a mother and for the child as well. And the most important thing is balance.
Okay.
Yeah, balance means have the 3 major food groups in your child. If you're doing the ndumas and the ngwashis, it's okay. You can add in legumes. You can add in proteins for your child. You can add in fruits for your child, so that this child also benefits from the multivitamins found in the fruits and the veggies as well.
All right, they need to be they need to check your mic for a moment there. But the doctor has clearly just set us, has ensured that we know exactly what we should be intaking or ingesting, especially during this time. And maybe just the most important thing, the 5 things that he has said we should not put away or put aside. That is ensuring that we are having our vitamin C's, which are from our fruits, the oranges, you can get it from the lemons, the berries and whatnot. And then also we ensure that we are also big on our vitamin C's, which of course we have vitamin A, which we have the carrots, we have the sweet potatoes and whatnot. We'll also ensure that we work on our vitamin D as well as probiotics. So with that, we need to be already set. Doc, with that we are set.
We are set.
With that we are set.
We are set.
There are people who suffer the most, especially during this time. And those are people that have allergies, especially cold allergies, dust allergies around this time. They are really having it hard. You know, so for someone who's experiencing that, or for someone who suffers from these kinds of allergies, what's the best way to work around this season?
Yeah, I think for people with allergies, most of the time they know their triggers. So number one is to identify the triggers and try in as much as possible to avoid the triggers. There are some who are allergic to animal fur. So you want to stay away from animal fur. You don't want, if you're visiting a friend, disclose that I have problem with fur. If they're keeping pets, let them know that you maybe I'll stay outdoor. If you're having cold allergies, it's a time to dress warmly. Ensure that when you're going out, freeze and shine. You know, there are bodies who want to freeze and shine. If you're having a cold allergy, I am sorry. You may not have the luxury of freeze and shine. So identify your triggers and try in as much as possible to reduce or minimize your triggers. I also mentioned that this time of the year, respiratory illnesses are so much because our windows are closed all the time because of the cold season. We are all huddled up in a small box moving called a matatu, and the windows are closed. You don't know who is having what in this matatu. Somebody is having pneumonia, somebody is having influenza, those kind of things. So it's important that if you're seated next to a window seat, please just request the person seated next to you to at least allow some circulation. I know it's cold, I know it's really cold, I hear you, I understand you, but the circulation is important. The more that air stays in that stationary box moving called a matatu, and we are all breathing the same air. I remember I said that during this cold season, the viruses stay longer in the air. And they are more stronger, and it will lead to more infections at this time. So it's important to open those windows in the matatus, in your own car, in that cab, in your offices. Yeah, sometimes in the office, and everybody is fighting like, don't touch that, don't touch. So it's important that we allow circulation to happen. Well, if you're blessed enough to have AC, you can use AC. But that circulation is important so that we reduce exposure to they are already in the air, but the longer it stays like stagnated, it becomes worse. So it's important to allow the air to move in, fresh air to come in to replace the air all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe what else to deal with the allergies?
Allergies. Of course, for those who are having allergies, it's important also to be diagnosed. There are allergy specialists, and they can give you there are medication called antihistamines, which are important to help you for those who are having, for example, such allergies. So if you're having severe allergies, it's important to be diagnosed so they identify the allergy that you're having. Even there are allergies in food. Yeah, soy, there are people allergic to lactose in milk, there are people allergic to protein, eczema for babies. Mostly babies have eczema a lot. So sometimes even food can cause your allergy. But there are specialists who can diagnose you. There are medical tests, laboratory tests, which can diagnose the specific allergy. Don't just say, oh, niko na allergy. Yeah, you need to know like which is the allergy, what is causing it, and how you need to avoid it.
It needs to be diagnosed.
Yes, and good thing is most of the hotels nowadays will disclose which foods and which allergies are found in those foods. So sometimes also it's important to check when you're walking through the buffet serving, you check, they always give disclaimers of allergies, or allergens, sorry, not allergies, allergens that may be found in those foods.
All right.
Yeah.
How best can we keep track of what we eat? And, you know, especially around this time, more or less you want to intake your comfort food. This is the time when you want to just, you know, snuggle up and eat as much as you can. So how best can we track what we're eating during this time?
I think with the embrace of technology right now, there are fitness apps, there are smart devices you can use, like smartwatches are available nowadays. So there is some of the way you can use technology to also take care of your health. So some of these apps can help you, but really you don't really need the apps if you don't have them. But a simple thing as a menu plan in your house, a meal plan in your house. There are professionals who can help you to design a nice meal plan for your family. Some of us will write chapati every Sunday. It was rule. You are home, what are you taking every Sunday? Don't lie. Get ready.
Maybe.
I know. So there are families which had routine, you know. So you can also have a family routine where you do a simple table to just Monday we are taking this, Tuesday we are taking this, Wednesday we are taking this. That is important. Will also help you to know what you are ingesting as a family. Most of the time if you go to a hospital, they always ask you to do a 24-hour recall of your food, because it also helps the medical professional attending to you to discover and to know how your nutrition status is, what we're calling a 24-hour recall. Some patients have to do a food journal, like literally write everything you took today, yesterday, everything. So sometimes it can go to the extreme levels of doing a food journal. But the simplest and most basic way is just have a meal plan or your normal menu in the kitchen.
Okay.
And that will also help with shopping, because if you're having a meal plan, I'll know what I'm buying and stocking up in my fridge. You know, I watch some guys online and they go shopping, it's like the freezer looks like a whole supermarket. But the only way which will help you to track that is if you have a meal plan or a menu plan, so that you don't buy excess, then it's getting spoiled in your freezer, things are expired. So a menu plan or a meal plan will also help with your stocking, buy purchases, and also definitely with your budget at this time of difficult economy situation.
Yes.
So a menu can solve you even your budget in the long run.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have any questions for our doctor concerning concerning the topic that we are having, which is nutrition care, specifically during this cold time, remember you can be able to send in your WhatsApp messages. The number is 0707 303 212. I'll read a message here. Someone says, good morning, I'm Daniel. Thank you for the informative session. You're welcome. My question is, does the cold season significantly affect our energy and nutrient requirements, or should healthy individuals generally just maintain the same dietary recommendations throughout the year? Doc.
The cold season will affect our dietary recommendations because our, what you're calling the BMR, basic metabolic rate, goes slightly higher, because now you need to stay warm. So the body has to generate that heat. So to generate that heat, it has to go through more processes of energy generation. So we need to have more so that it takes care of that metabolism, so that you produce the heat that you need, the body keeps running. So it's important as taking 3 basic meals of the day: your breakfast, your lunch, and your supper, and a healthy snack. A healthy snack can be a fruit, can be a vegetable salad. So it's important that you have that balance of nutrients so that you're able to stock up to help the body raise its BMR at this time of the cold season, to also help you just stay warm. Yeah. Yeah.
There's someone who asked, does sleep play a role in our immunity?
Yeah. Sleep plays a big role. Like, I wish Nairobi will allow me to sleep for 6 to 8 hours.
I'm sure that's the same thing this person.
The people who told us sleep is for the poor, or the people told us sleep is for the wicked. But boy, oh boy, let me tell you, sleep is important for your health status, because a well-rested body will also help you to, these free radicals I talked about. When your body is well-rested, it also helps you to reduce these free radicals, which causes this infection and those kind of things. So it's important when you're able to. I know sometimes life becomes so busy, but if you're able to, you need adequate rest, at least 6 to 8 hours of rest every single day. But boy, oh boy, we're in this city, and wherever city where you're watching us from, life is tough and things are fast-paced. But if you're able to find time, just find time to rest, and rest adequately. Sleep is part of the truth. And remember, sleep also works on your mental health. Yeah, when you're stressed up, you're worked out, you can sleep just to refresh the body. So sleep is good, not just for your physical health, even for your mental health and rest as well.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a question here. Someone says, good morning. Thanks for the good lecture. They've taken it as a lecture. What can be the possible cause of a muscle strain causing severe pain and numbness during the cold?
Muscle strain, or I mean, sometimes not even muscle. There's sometimes we will feel it as joint pains. Yeah, because sometimes this could be symptoms of underlying symptoms of things like arthritis. It becomes a bit bad during the cold season. For the muscles, could also be around the workouts. So if you're feeling a little bit of more strain on your muscles during the cold season, you may need to reduce a little bit of your strain on yourself, reduce the exertion of pressure, because remember again, at this cold season, the body is trying to conserve the energy. So when you're straining yourself too much, you may have a little bit of more of that strain. So we want to reduce more on that. But for older people, they may feel it on their knees as a sign of maybe arthritis or those kind of things. So you may also want to be checked if you're constantly feeling pain on your joints during the cold season. Yeah.
All right, I'll take one more question because we need to finalize. Someone is saying, good morning, I'm Nipam. I'm always waking up with a swollen face every morning. Please ask the doctor. It's very urgent.
Nippon, if you're always waking up with a swollen face and it's very urgent, the best thing I will tell you to do is go to see a doctor. They need to diagnose why you're waking up with a swollen face. It's called puffiness. Puffiness may be a symptom of an underlying condition. So the best advice I will tell you is go to the doctor to get diagnosed what is causing your puffiness in the morning. Yeah, because sometimes it can be as a serious condition as even involving the heart, the puffiness of the face. So I'm not saying that is the condition for her, but I'm saying you need to see a doctor.
Checked.
Yeah, go get checked. They find out what's causing the puffiness on the face.
Okay, I want to finish with this last question that I had. You know, some people may argue that it is expensive to maintain a good diet. It is expensive for one to have a nutritious meal. Is this just a misconception? Or you feel like, you know, one can be able to afford, like it's affordable to have a nutritious meal?
I think I get that question a lot. People say eating healthy is expensive. I think it's a myth because eating healthy is as simple as your ugali, skuma, and omena. Ugali, managu, and matumbo. I know some of you don't take matumbo, but it's as simple as that. It doesn't have to go into fancy things of buying cauliflowers and broccolis and zucchini and those kind of things. And, you know, eating healthy, I think it's even cheaper than eating these ultra-processed foods. Go and check some of these fast food brands. You'll go there, your pocket will run dry. Yeah, we just walk into any global fast food chain. You'll prove that eating healthy is cheaper. Once you walk from that a global brand, go to a local kibandaski, ask for ugali matumbo. Give me the math. I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
So it's clearly not more expensive.
It's not more expensive.
The other than junk food.
Umai kula ugali matumbo?
Yes.
Ugali managu?
Yes.
Is it cheap?
It is. Okay. It's affordable. It is affordable.
There you go, guys.
Even your githeri is a full nutritious meal.
Githeri is a complete meal because it's the carbs and the proteins in it. And nowadays, you go to your mama mapima, they even give you a free dose of cabbage. Wanakulizanga utaweka cabbage ama skuma.
That's true.
So they'll give you a cabbage there. Some even go to a level of giving you a dessert of avocado next to you there.
All right, Doc, thank you so much for just shedding light on this conversation that we were having, and it was on nutrition care during the cold season. And I can see my colleagues are on the other side. I don't know how they are ensuring that they are taking care of their bodies, especially during this cold season. Mike? Well, are you ensuring that you are ingesting the right things?
Oh, yes. Paying attention to what you're eating, especially now, is very important. Not only just this time, but also for purposes of staying healthy. You know, you have to know what you're taking, not just eating just because you're hungry. That is a very important thing. And there's something that he said about making food for babies. Make sure that it's food that you can also eat if given.
Yes.
That is a very important. That is a very important point, especially to those who are having young children. Make sure that the food that you make for them is a very good meal.
Okay, he talked about madondo, sindio? Na githeri.
Yes.
Okay.
Very nutritious.
Tukule vizuri.
Yes.
All right. Let's end this conversation, and this is where we get to also end Good Morning Kenya for today. Thank you so very much to each and every one of you who has been tuned in. We do this each and every weekday morning, so we'll see you tomorrow, same time, and please, God willing, do enjoy the rest of your viewing.